Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hanma's What If. So, guys, in today's What If is going to be, as you can see from the title, what if Takemichi was Coco's brother? So, guys, before we start, I just would like to say some things. Coco and Takemichi would be twins, and Inupi and Akun would live in the same neighborhood as them. Actually, no. Let's change that up. Inupi and Coco, no, I mean, Akun and Coco wouldn't live in the same neighborhood. So, guys, without further ado, let's get right into this video. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. So, guys, we start off this what if at the park. So we would see Takemichi getting picked on. All of a sudden, you'd see a smaller version of Coco running in and fly kicking one of the boys in the head. They would be sent flying, knocked out, while the rest of them would be slightly scared but would shout out, "What do you do?" And then all of them would rush at Coco. Takemichi didn't want to see his brother get hurt, rather him getting hurt than his brother. So he runs in and tries to fight. He does get a few hits on a couple of the boys, but in the end, he'd still get his ass handed to him. So, anyways, Coco would end up running at the rest of them, defeating them really quickly. So after that, Coco would tell Takemichi that he actually needs to get stronger, because at this point, he will get beat up by anyone. Takemichi would say, no thanks, I'd rather be someone who gets beat up than beating others. Because, Takemichi in this one is not that kind of guy. But later on, he will learn that he shouldn't have done that. But anyways, everything would go on as canon in the original story. But before we go to the canon part, if we go back before everything starts to go to canon, we would move to where Akun and Inupi are. So Inupi and Akun would have a big fight. Inupi would be the leader of the Rocks, and Akun would be the leader of Mizo Middle. So both of them would have a small gang, which consists of 50 people, which isn't really a gang, but let's just say it's a group. They would have a fight, and Akun would lose and end up losing all his followers, which leads him to going where he used to go in the original. But anyways, let's continue. So Takemichi would end up leaving without Coco, and that would kind of make Coco a bit mad at Takemichi, because in Coco's eyes, Takemichi was the only person he actually had. Similar to how Shinichiro died, and then he ended up starting to go on the Mikey started to go on the dark side. Similar to what is happening to Coco at this point. So after a while, Takemichi actually started to go to the dark side and also have a little depressed because he didn't have his brother. And true, he didn't know how to fight. He couldn't fight out his anger, like how Mikey somewhat did. So after that, everything would go as canon, and this is the point we reach in the story. So I really wanted to breeze through everything so I could get to the point in the story where the train is, because the last video I left it off where the train is. So I'm trying to get to the Mobius fight. So anyways, Takemichi would get pushed into the train. Wait, let's go back a few seconds. So Takemichi would be in his room wondering, where did he go wrong? When he was thinking that, he heard on the news Hinata Tachibana and Naoto Tachibana has been killed in a car accident. After a while, it would sink in, and he would realize that the only girlfriend he had died. But anyways, let's go back to the train. So after a while waiting on the train, someone would push him off. He would land on the train tracks face first. So his his forehead would be bleeding, and some of the blood would end up in his eyes. So after that, he would try to get up, but he couldn't see, and then, well, bam, he would be on the train with. Actually, that's going to be a major change. He would actually go back all the way to the park. Like, that's the reason why I mentioned the park when they were kids. So he would end up going back to the park all the way to the point that when Coco was asking him if he wanted to train with him. And in this one, he realized that that's where he went wrong. He said no. So he ended up saying okay, and him and Coco would end up starting to train. Coco would teach him karate, and Takemichi would end up learning karate and trying to put a mix on it, which involved him using his leg. Because Takemichi would be a bit more smarter in this and realize that his attacking force when using his hand is way less hurtful when he is using his feet. So if he uses feet, that means he's going to do a lot more damage than when he's using his fist. So he's end up learning he would end up mixing somewhat of taekwondo into karate, which end up making something like Mikey's style, but he would more use his legs. But anyways, let's continue. So after a few years, when they were 13, just because Takemichi didn't move, they would end up just because Takemichi didn't move to the other side of Kanto, they would end up him and his family would end up moving to a different side of Kanto. Let's say it's cut up in 3 sections. So they would be in the middle of Kanto, and they would move to the Kanto that is in front of them. So if he was going to left to right, they would move to the right side. In the original, he would move to the left side. So anyways, let's continue. So Inupi and Inupi and Alkun would live at the right side. I think I said the right side they were going. So yeah, Inupi and Alkun lives at the right side. So this is when the fight was going on, which is when they interrupted it and actually defeated most of the guys, and everyone ended up departing. So after a few months, Inupi and Akun decided to team up to fight off against Coco and Takemichi, because after a while, Coco and Takemichi has been stopping all their deals and everything. Not like they were in any shady business or anything, but to get money they had to have a fighting club, and they end up stopping it and taking it over. So anyways, let's continue. So you guys may realize what I'm doing here. So this fighting club would be where Kiyomasa, but Kiyomasa didn't end up getting the fighting club this time. Coco and Inupi end up sharing the fighting club. So both sorry for saying Coco. I meant Akun and Inupi shared the fighting club. So after a while, they end up fighting Kiyomasa. Both of them end up fighting Kiyomasa, double teaming Kiyomasa. Kiyomasa would end up losing, and they would end up taking over the fight club, which would end up getting taken over by Takemichi and Coco. which Coco would love the business because, of course, he was getting money. But there's one thing he would never trade money for, and it was his brother. So Coco wasn't selling out his brother anytime soon, or at all in that fact, in that matter. So yeah, so Coco and Takamichi would end up being in the fighting place, sitting down, collecting their money in the evening before the fighting club end up starting. It was around 3 hours before the fighting club started, so that would be give enough time for Takamichi to finish up the fight and everything. So first, Inupi would run up to Takamichi, throwing a punch, which Coco would end up blocking with that in hand, and he would grab Inupi's arm and swing him around, hitting him with a pole in the head, which would send Inupi flying. After that, Akun would run up and do a spin kick, trying to hit Coco. Well, Coco would end up using the pole and slapping him in his shin, which would hurt a lot. After that, Inopi would end up running in and try to blindside Coco, which would end up with him getting a broken nose when Takamichi ended up running in and spin kicking him in the face. Coco would realize, yo, Takamichi is actually stronger than I thought, and he would be like, in his head, he would still thinking, I don't think he actually can take on these guys. But they would still fight and everything. But I'm gonna leave it on a cliffhanger right here. See you guys next time. Wait, before I say anything else, I just want to say thank you guys for watching this video, if you guys have, and make sure to go ahead and watch the rest of my first video, and make sure to go ahead and check out my main channel, which would be ChrisJ103. That's where I do most of my gaming, and yeah. So guys, make sure to go ahead and check out that, and see you guys next time. Peace.